You may have to click a little buttony boo.
Give us your consent.
Give us your consent.
Consent off.
All right.
All right. Well, then we'll go ahead and get started now so we can say some stuff. They don't have a sign.
I have a sign.
What's up, everybody? This is Josh and Jess from God Hates Unicorns, and we're here with another exciting round of
The Squatch and the Snail.
It's not called that. Bands and artists we like and support that aren't as good as God Hates Unicorns. And here with us today, we have Doug and Tyler. Woo! Thank you for being here.
Hello, how are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
We are fantastic. We are
Doing great.
excited.
Like to hear it. So we got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about today. First, tell us about your band.
We are called Brain Dead Genius. We're brand new and rising up from kind of the beloved Tombstones of Scattered Planets, which is a band that I was in for 20 years.
All right. R.I.P.
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 I love Scott. I'm a big fan of Scattered Planets. I'm a big fan of probably what you guys are doing now.
We don't know yet. We're about to find out.
It was
Awesome.
It was hard to kind of change the name, but it was I met up with Chad during the pandemic, and we kind of hit it off. Remember, we used to be really good friends. We were best friends until he suddenly disappeared about 30 years ago, like disappeared off of the face of the world. And we reconnected at some point. It's like, where were you? So I had kids, and
and where did he go?
We'll find out. Let him, if he shows up, we'll let him tell you this story. I'm sure the CIA was related and all that kind of stuff.
It could be another 30 years.
I don't know. He might not show up for another 30 years, and this is a 30-minute podcast, so that's really difficult. But
it was time to get a new name and a different, kind of a different approach than what we did before. I think we had a lot of fun, but just wanted to do something slightly different.
And what would you call your music now, if you had to describe it?
Absolutely insane. Every song feels like a mixture of different types of illegal psychedelic chemicals that are either going through your system or your skin, or it's just some kind of nasty rain that can resurrect the dead if it's got to.
Well put.
I'm very excited.
Sweet.
We're going to be hearing this, and as soon as we do, I'm going to do a little tip and tell you what my thoughts are, and hopefully I will survive to tell the tale.
What we'll do is we'll listen to the tracks they sent us, not plan for anybody, and just give our reactions to them.
That's what we're gonna do. For the record, they sent them to us just now, so it's like that's why we don't know. But we're all gonna find out together. Mm-hmm.
I think a fun thing with this is in Scattered Planets, and it's another reason it's so hard to just do anything different. If it's so easy to join another band where my responsibilities are just to make noise. I was like, I could do that, but whenever it's to still be like a partner again, in co-writing the songs, it's been really fun because Tyler is younger than me, and he's still got all of those ideas flowing. They're not all used up, and so I was struggling with Chad. That Chad helped me with brand new ideas, different type of concepts of songs that I wouldn't have done on my own, like because of a family of kids or a kid, and I was like, this isn't appropriate at all, so I wouldn't do it myself. But with a devil on my shoulders, like, oh, we got to do this. This would be so funny. It's like, okay. And plus God Hates Unicorns. You guys are role models for me too. I've always loved it. It's like, oh, it's so wrong. I like it. But Tyler, he's an amazing talent. So he's brought with him a lot of different subgenres, because mainly we're in a kind of industrial techno spacey sort of band. That's just just in general terms.
Metal.
He brings metal. He brings all these elements that that I didn't really have. And so I'm so happy that, you know, for every one song that I'm writing, he's got about 5. And so it's nice that, you know, we're trying to start a new band, and, you know, at first was just struggling for material, and like, I'll just have to, you know, revive old songs. We'll put a different spin to it. But now with Tyler on, he's got so many things that are like same vein as Scattered Planets, same as what we were doing, that it just fits right in. So I'm really happy that he's just, as soon as he says this was the best one yet, and this is the best one yet. So that's been a good feeling.
I'm very excited. I'm very scared if we're any sort of like somebody you're looking up to. That's horrifying. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear it. Yeah, that's
over the course of you know, the Scattered Planets career, we had met up with Debutante, Tyler mentioned before, and we all became very good friends. We love Debutante, they like Scattered Planets, and we invited them to all kinds of shows. They invited us to shows. It was a lot of fun, great network. And so it's terrible for me when they broke up, but From the Ashes was God Hates Unicorns, which is even better, and Love Dumpster, that's even better. Both bands are just, you know, it's like, you know, if you've got to break up, you did it right. You know, it's like, it's really, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone sort of thing, or rise 2 birds with 1 stone sacrifice.
And for the audience, Josh was in Debutante with Jen, who's in Love Dumpster, and now we have the 2 bands that have formed, and we will both be playing at a private event. Let's talk about that.
I was always I really loved a music festival I went to in Northern Ohio back in the 90s called Strange Days. There was a bunch of space rock bands, kind of hippie-fied, but more punk edge than you know, say Grateful Dead or that type of thing. You know, so it was like Hawkwind and Nick Turner, Haley's Creed, all that kind of stuff. And what I liked about it so much is it wasn't really packed like, you know, metal music festivals and all that. It was more spread out. Families were there camping and tenting and grilling, you know, for a whole weekend. I just loved it. And so starting in 2001, moved to Philadelphia, and I wanted to do my own music festivals. And so we started doing professional music festivals at Rotunda, and then we did a private music festival for just all the bands we like and our friends, called the Space Rock BBQ. And for every year, for many years, we always did it, and eventually moved to Ohio in 2007. And Josh and Charmaine started doing some satellite Space Rock BBQ events in Pittsburgh, and so we interchange between Okeana and Pittsburgh with it. And then the last one was about 5 years ago, when my wife and I were having a baby, and just knew we were going to be doing baby stuff for a couple of years. And so it was the last one, and then the apocalypse happened, and so that 2-year stretch I expected became 5. And so I'm happy that, like, to do it again, and then everyone was like, yeah, let's pick up the pieces where it is and get a new normal that people can actually enjoy.
Fuck yeah.
New normal.
I remember meeting you back in the day, dog, and during the MySpace days.
Yep, I was into MySpace during MySpace and MP3.com. I was in my 20s, and so I was an influencer for that generation, and so I promoted heavily all over the region. And then once Facebook came around, it's like I signed up for an account, but I just did silly stories, and I haven't done anything ever really productive with it.
It's not the fucking same.
It's not the same.
Like, the people I've met through MySpace, as far as like touring bands and stuff like that are concerned,
it was more music focused.
Like anything else.
Yeah, MySpace is more music focused, and around that time, like, there was a Live Journal was another social thing, which is more story focused, where you're just talking to people about your thoughts and everything. But then Facebook came out and it just replaced them, but it's neither. It's it's a way to communicate. So I love Facebook because without that, I would lose touch with people completely.
Yeah.
So I get a glimpse, a glimmer of what their lives are like. It kind of makes me happy if I can skip through the ads, if I can just, skip through things and just look at the pictures of the puppy dogs, the kids, or, they're playing a show. I'm always inspired. It's like, oh, they're playing a show, it's like, so that always makes me happy when I see that some of my old friends are like, they're getting out there again, they're getting on stage. That always warms me up when I see it.
But you have to know them first, though. Like,
Yes.
like on MySpace, you were able to connect with people.
MySpace, I would connect.
Similar thing.
Facebook, I'm really stringent. Like I accepted a friend request from you because I knew that we were gonna be friends and we're gonna meet, right? Like we're gonna meet like within an hour. And so I accepted the friend request, like knowing it's like it's gonna work out. I can unfriend her later. It's okay.
You guys are gonna love each other, dog. Honestly.
I'm excited.
I was telling her stories about the combat marching around with combat boots at 4 in the morning. And I know Sylvia's there, but like I want to see that again.
I'm sure you will. And that's we are planning to make this a family friendly event, as family friendly as possible. Like during the daytime hours. We've tried it before. It did not work out all that well. So we've got contingency plans that there are safe shelters for like children be put in cocoons and the tidal waves are out.
Just put them in the cocoon. That's fine. Snuggle them in there. You're here.
I think it's fun because we normally like at these events because we're way out in the country, so we'll play music nonstop day and night, and so in the daytime we're playing more upbeat music that will be okay for kids, and the hard bands in the evening, and then late at night and trance and kind of just more tripped out stuff that in the 15 years we've lived here, the Cops only came out once, and that was because there was a band from South Carolina came out and they could only be there, they could only play on a Monday night. I was like, well, we gotta let them do it. And it turns out that if we do this after 11 p.m. on a Monday night, the Cops will eventually show up.
Well, that's a bummer, but that's really nice because if we are like outside just like coughing at 11 on a Monday night, they're like, you're under arrest.
Yes, I do like that difference of being further out in the country, because when we used to do the Space Rock barbecues in Philly, we're in the suburbs of Philly, but still it was guaranteed the Cops are going to come out. We always had contingency plans for it. We were going to play outside as long as we could get away with it. And then we're going to move the bands with drums indoors and the electronic bands would play outdoors till the Cops came again. Then everyone had to go inside. It's just, that is the way. And we're trying to plan how many bands can we squeeze in before the first arrival. And so not having to plan for that, and some neighbors just stopping by, they know they're invited to just stop by and hang out for a bit. They know, we got barbecue and everything. It's a big difference.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing this in September, and you're not invited unless you are.
Unless you DM me.
Unless you slip into some DMs involved here, then maybe you will be. You know who else is coming? Other than us and Love Dumpster and of course Charmaine. I love you, Charmaine. Sneaky Heat Missiles.
The Sneaky Heat Missiles.
Yeah, that was an easy sell.
You want in on this? I know you do.
The rules is just like kind of if you're cool with these people here, you're probably cool with me. So
yeah,
you are invited.
That's what I kind of told them, right? And yeah, they're great people, and then we're gonna come on with. But let's talk more about some brain dead genius. What your first hit single you're gonna put out? What's it called, and when can we hear it?
Well,
I can hear it.
We can hear it.
I can hear it right now.
You got a couple sneak previews. There's some songs that we got that I think that are going to be super exciting. one song, Chad came up with the concept and the words, the pace, and I did the drum machines, and we use a lot of artificial intelligence vocals as backing vocals and sometimes the lead vocals.
What is that? Sorry, I don't know. What does that mean?
That means that we don't have the time or energy to go out and get a hot chick to sing lead for our songs, so we built one.
Here I got you, and then I just built one.
You could have just built one. You still can. Damn it.
So I think that's something that gives us a bit of an edge, is that instead of like I've always loved Skinny Puppy and all these bands that use like just tons of samples, for movies and stuff like that. But instead of using samples, we are coming up with scripts and things for this lady to sing. So we've got songs that are stories but wild. One of the songs that we've got is called "She Called the Cops." And this is about, I'm not going to call her Karen because it could be offensive to somebody still named Karen, but it's about this lady at a Mexican restaurant that asked to speak to the manager, and she's upset about everything. And she's upset about things in a way that you can tell that she's just broken. So it is a robot lady, but it doesn't really feel like a robot. It just feels like she's broken. There's something that snapped and why she's freaking out like this. And she just, creates havoc for these poor wait staff, all set to like, a hard dance beat. So that's a song I think will be a hit. We got a song called "Don't Call My Bitch a Bitch." And this is about getting upset at people for just being upset about whatever it is. And so it's a spinning madness of misunderstanding. I think that people will understand that, or misunderstand it. They like it.
Who's singing that one? You or
that one. We converted our artificial intelligence woman to have a Hindi accent, where she is yelling at everyone that she knows. That one I gave you a sample of. We'll see if you feel like what it is.
Hear that.
And then we're gonna write songs where we sing. Tyler's got an amazing voice. He could sing great death metal, and he can sing like a choir boy. So he's got a range. Chad's got a range. I don't. I sing like I'm possessed, but it all mixes together.
You're Nick Fiend, you know it.
He is one of my heroes. The Alien Sex Fiend is one of my favorite bands. That's something that Josh and I can get along with pretty well. Is like we both like have a Alien Sex Fiend collection. Those folks can't go wrong.
That's what always Skylar plants remind me of. Like it's like a psychedelic Alien Sex Fiend.
And to make it funny, they're not a direct influence at all. Like I never really heard them until, I heard like a couple of their songs, like Zombified. They played on MTV a lot in the late 80s. And I can't think of anything else they even played on MTV regularly. So I never really heard them except that one song. So we were inspired by other things. And then just years later, once I picked up Alien Sex Fiend on used CD bins and stuff, it was like, oh, this is exactly what we were talking. This is exactly the kind of thing that we were trying to do.
So everybody's going to be so curious, and I will cut this part out, but can we pretend like we're listening to it right now and then put in like the littlest clip, like a little 30-second clip, like a little clippy?
Actually, if you guys want to play Shadow of a Warrior, you guys could play up till the end vocal if you want.
Let's all pretend like we're listening now, and then we're gonna play.
Okay. say probably about a minute 40.
Clock, we gotta get going.
I mean, I can make a special file for you guys if you would like me to.
How far can you imagine that to be, though? I mean, like, you know, it's just a sample section you're imagining.
It's a fucking night.
Yeah, she'll do it all night.
Anyways, we'll put
All night
in there.
remix.
I'm excited. I can't wait to be totally offbeat like I am always with everything.
That's not true.
I noticed that when like we're at a thing and I'm like headbanging, it is the opposite headbanging everybody else in this house.
Really?
Yes, every time.
I have had a kind of most of my life with my wife, we disagree on how we appreciate music. That I'm kind of like thumping my feet with kick drum, and she's in with the treble notes, you know, and she was trained with like treble clef, and I was trained with the bass clef. By trained, I mean, you know, I know a couple notes. But you know, so I think that a lot of it is just where you're coming from, what you are really picking up on. You know, you're listening to the whole song, but there's some elements of it which are motivating, that are moving you. And so some people headbang to the left, some people headbang to the right.
Yeah, you go to vocals a lot.
I do. Because those are the most.
Important. And then everyone knows the vocals are really most important. That's why they build them an AI person to sing their songs.
No, that's the opposite. That's the opposite because they were so bored with the vocals that they didn't even do them.
Same thing.
Anyways.
I want an AI vocal.
No, you're not getting an AI vocal. For you.
Look, I've seen a lot of science fiction movies that try to go on that subject. You got to have one or the other. You can't have them both.
I'll be kicked to the curb in a moment. So we're just the AI here. Tell me, the AI doesn't work. It's not fun.
Send me your specs.
Well, at the very least, I'm not always dramatic and upset about everything.
Well.
Fuck!
That's something we've done with our artificial intelligence vocals, is we try to have a real attitude to her. She is not friendly like Siri or the lady that's giving you directions in the car. She is troubled. She's got problems. And
yeah,
so
if you listen,
I enjoy like writing those pieces and restructuring it, you know, for the right effect. And you know, that was one of the things I used to do it professionally, was do IVRs. You call an 800 number, you got to talk to some robot and never ever actually get to a person. Like I love to design those ladies. And so doing it for good instead of evil is very rewarding.
I guess. Anyway, I'm out. See you guys.
I don't have a robot.
Yet another one replaced by a robot.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I have it on my phone.
Oh, that's me. Probably can't see it. Anyways.
I think his phone was censored. It was blurred. There's pixels and everything.
My AI is not as good yet. I have to get your specs for it.
Yeah, my cloud. I'm sorry, go ahead.
My Cloud is another hit song that is about a troubled angel that is up on a cloud, and it's always been up on the cloud, and it's always been doing happy weather and some snow, and it just wants change. It wants to do real weather, and it wants to destroy the world.
I can't wait to hear that.
So it's just this angel living on a cloud that just snaps. Maybe she got electrocuted by her own like thunderstorm or something, but she decides to end the world. So that's a nice track that I think actually when Tyler wrote it, I listened to it again and again. Just I'm entranced by it, and so I'll just have it on loop for an hour because it's just everything about it. Like whenever I first heard the song, it gave me ideas that like because he just wrote the music to it. It was like this makes me think of just this angel living in a cloud. But what's wrong? What's wrong? So that was super fun. That a great collaboration that he did the music, and I did the all of the potential things that cloud lady could say, and he placed it together, and it's like I think that's equal. We both wrote the song. He did a good 90% of it, but I did the part that matters, that crazy cloud lady.
My cloud is a very big like dubsteppy type electric song. It's very a lot of like bass elements and very abrupt. It's very in your face.
I like that. You should be.
So we're super excited. So it's all very new that Chad and I have been, over the course of the pandemic, we meet on Discord or just we'll have our cell phones on speaker and talking remotely and talking about lyrics and working on songs. And then once Tyler got in, like we've got like a group chat similar to Zoom where we'll be listening to a song and commenting on it, and so we're doing our band practices and building our songs remotely with Tyler and Chillicothe, Chad, and I think some sort of like shack with a tin roof somewhere near Athens, Ohio. And then Okeana. So just meeting together, even under regular conditions, would have been really difficult. But Friday night, get together and we just work on some songs, come up with some new songs or fine-tune songs. So I think this upcoming weekend we're gonna all meet up in Chillicothe. That's where we're all raised in Chillicothe, Ohio. Yeah, so we're we've all got family there, and Tyler he's living there and got a studio there, so we're all gonna meet for the first time in all of this to do a legitimate band practice, do a little recording. Like we'll actually physically meet to like get ready for the Space Rock BBQ.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh, you guys can finally touch.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not gonna happen, but we will be in touching distance.
Yeah.
Touch time.
It's touch time.
It's fucking touch time. You gotta get those touches in. We're gonna be touching all each other. Marcus, Matt, Tim, Josh, me, all touching to get ready because we're gonna be at Space Rock BBQ.
And we're gonna touch all you.
And we're gonna be touching you. Also, touching is happening. If you're interested in going in East Kabam, Ohio, and you're our friend,
Exit 1.
DM us, and maybe we'll I don't know.
We're also debating on going to the museum again on Sunday.
Oh God, no. No,
I been there, so we do have to
go. They are referring to the Creation Museum, which is just a few miles away from my house. That'll give you all of the answers of the world.
Religious and spiritual, and I get away from them. I don't know.
Well,
So many things they didn't teach you in school, although they probably do teach you in school now, but they used to not teach that.
Right, I know. Anyways.
Yeah, like I feel so bad every time I come out that way. I'm like, I need to go to the Creation Museum,
But you don't want to support.
but I also don't want to give them any money.
We should go there and talk about how we want to see it so much, but we don't have it.
Yeah,
I wish
And
it was
that is a
cheaper.
fucking Christian thing to do. Is just let it in.
see how charitable they are.
It's a rough spot. Like I've taken many people there. I'm a curiosity, they're curious about it, and I don't consider it sacrilege. I'm not religious really anyways, but I don't consider it sacrilegious. I think that what they're doing is not Christian whatsoever. So all more power to them. But the catch to it, the real trick is on you, because it's like going to Disneyland, but it costs like you're going to Disneyland.
How much is it?
It's like $30.
What? No,
Wow.
tell them I don't have any money and that I need to be safe. Anyway,
Do you remember the first time we went, dog?
The first time that we went, it was with you and Angel X, and it was, you know, we had played a show the night before, and we went to some podunk bar that was real close by it to have like a brunch. It was like a Sunday, and you were dressed as a preacher, and she was dressed as a hooker, and you know, some local boys came up and asked us what we're doing, and you explained about your flock, and you know, it was great. It was believable enough they let us live. And we had a lot of fun at the Creation Museum. We were one time with a big group after a Space Rock BBQ of like 15 people with us, and I was dressed like total Mormon, just all white, and I think I had a white tie on. I was just really as nicely and purely dressed as I could be. And some lady was asking us what we're all from. We're from a college, and explained a little about what we do, and trying to make it very casual, but then slip in some things that made it seem that we are a cult. And we're here to study, and so she was all excited, and she was telling us about the campaign she's running because she was like an elected official, and suddenly things snapped. Some of the things I was saying like creeped in and like turned around and continued watching the movie. It was great.
We're all going.
I was proud of myself.
We are all going together.
We're going. We're bringing the missiles.
We're bringing the missiles. We're all going. If you don't go,
And I was dressed as a preacher. I think Jen just got out of bed.
Jen always looks great. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being on. We're so excited to go to your house. Are we allowed to disclose the date?
What's that? Yes, you can. That entire weekend, September 9th weekend, we will be setting up all throughout. Let me see, what is that, September?
Yeah, 9th through 11th.
Through the 11th.
9/11.
What year am I looking at?
Never forget.
Never forget.
September, yeah. So that's why I was like, whenever you say, it's like, don't say September 11th, but you know, I'm sure that we'll think about that. That date kind of changed the world quite a bit. But you know, so it'll be that weekend, that Friday. We will start up, you know, in the afternoon, and we will go on all weekend until folks have to go back to the real world.
Thank you guys so much for being on. It's so awesome to get to meet you finally. And I'm excited for you two to meet in touch. And I'm excited.
You guys can touch them.
I can't wait to hear about the touching. I can't wait to be at your house touching your things. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you for
We
having
look
us.
forward to bringing this
Yes.
back to the world it needs to be.